You're listening to Those Dram Yinzers with your hosts, Jon and Zack.
Hey everyone, I'm Jon.
And I'm Zack.
And welcome to Those Dram Yinzers, where we drink bourbon.
And talk about it.
We are coming at you live from the very first ever Western Pennsylvania Spirits Fest over here at Threadbare Cider House, which is Wigle's cider company. Actually, I'm staring at Wigle's Big Blue, which is their rick house, their barrel house. Want to go around there and just kind of gaze at the beauty that's going to be inside there.
Oh, yes.
We're here with, I don't know what the final number is. I think it was like 20-some distilleries from up and down the west side of Pennsylvania. Just to name some that I can see their names. We got Red Pump. We got Wigle, Altered State, 446.
Boyd and Blair.
Boyd and Blair's over there. Crooked Creek, Kingfly. Liberty Pole is obviously here. We got Lucky Sign. Does this one say Disobedient Spirit?
Did we say Still Mill?
I did not say Still Mill. And a couple other ones that I can't see.
Quantum Spirits is here?
Quantum is here. You got a little bit better sight than I do. Country Hammer. And there's other ones that I just can't see just because of where we're sitting. So if we missed you, sorry. So I'm pumped. So this is like I said, this is the first ever event of this kind. It's purely craft spirits from Western PA. And there's more than just the ones that are here, but these are the ones that signed up to do this year. So hopefully when we do this next year, we can make it even bigger and have everyone here. Now, as you heard me say, I said Boyd and Blair. Boyd and Blair does not do whiskeys. That's why they said this is a Spirits Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so we got everything. We got whiskey, we got moonshine, we got vodka,
gin,
rum, everything. Everything spirit, anything that needs distilled is here today.
Right.
And if you're not here, I mean, you're hearing this way after the event, so you missed out.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see how this day turns out. It's nice and sunny. It's not supposed to rain till a little later, so that's kind of good. Yeah, and we'll see how this plays out. So to kick off this, we always like to kick off our events with something fun to drink. I mean, we're going to be drinking plenty today, but as we did with the Rebellion Fest last year, that was the first time we were like really together because of the pandemic, and we had our infinity bottle. At that time was 0 to 2 years, the first 2 years that we were together.
Right.
So since then, since we've ticked past the 3-year mark, I refilled because we drank a lot of that day. I refilled our bottle with everything from year 2 to 3. Mm-hmm. So right now our infinity bottle is full, minus the 2 shots I just poured,
right,
of everything we've ever had on the show that's been left over on the show.
Right.
From when we started to up to 3 years, so up to this past October. Right. So anything since October is not in it yet.
Yeah.
So I brought the bottle with us, and this is how we're going to start the day. So, sir, cheers to you.
Cheers to you. That's intense.
Not as much. I mean, you know how Scotch typically really overpowers a lot of everything, but not as much as I thought.
Right.
Because the last one when we had our other one, it was pretty Scotchy.
Right.
This one isn't too bad. That's good.
I'm still getting a little bit of the peat in there, though.
It's at the end.
Like at the end, yeah. I'm getting some honey on that, too.
But again, for a blend that I'm not even trying to do it, I'm just dumping. Not bad.
I'm not mad at it. I would drink that.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Good stuff.
I want to, before I forget later, because we'll be drinking a lot, I want to thank our production assistant, Tomas, for coming in today again, helping us out.
The big T.
Who's on his phone not paying
attention. We're giving
attention.
you a shout out. We also want to thank Wigle
and Lucky Sign. Wigle and Lucky Sign, and I think Boyd and Blair had a hand in it too.
Yeah.
Of putting the event together. Christian from Lucky Sign reached out to me in the fall and said, "Hey, I want to put something together. Would that be something you're interested in?" I'm like, always, every time, yes, please. Thank you for contacting us and wanting us to be involved. So me and him been talking back and forth, and he hit me up a couple months ago, right before they were ready to announce that it was going to happen, and said, "Be on the lookout. Help with any sort of promotion you could do." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Can we come? Can we come and set up a booth like we've had at other events?" He's like, "Absolutely. Just get in contact. We'll talk once it gets started. Let's talk some more." He kind of started this whole thing, and Wigle, the event runners, Elise, Kelly, and now Megan, kind of took it from this aspect and kind of did a little bit more of setup and everything, because we're in Threadbare's parking lot,
Right.
As I said earlier. So yeah, we want to thank them for allowing us to come and hang out.
Special thanks to Kelly and Meg for letting us have the tables and the tablecloths and the chairs and
basically everything, because we were spoiled at previous events and everything's been pretty much we showed up and we needed to bring our own tables and tent and we were dumb and didn't bring any of that. So thank you for helping us out, because we stink. But now that just gives you more motivation to go ahead and buy these things.
I've got all the motivation in the world to buy these things, John. If you don't think I haven't already been looking up tables online.
That's fine.
I actually found a DJ table that has a little hole in the back where we could run the cords up.
I'm okay with that. I mean, even if we get one of these types of folding tables, we'll just take a drill and...
That might be better, because the DJ table was $200.
Yeah, no, we don't need to do that.
Whereas the black folding table from Walmart was $55.
Yeah.
We just get a little...
Sounds good to me.
Maybe we do 1, 2, and then we can run all our cords underneath.
All right, so you got anything else to bring up before we move on?
I'm just excited to be doing this again, man. It feels like I know it's been a minute. And
it has. I do want to apologize for not having a show for a while. Zach and I both had our own colds for a while, and then I caught COVID and really couldn't taste a lot of anything. So, trying to smell and taste whiskey when those senses are a little skewed was not. I tried. I really did, and it just nothing tasted like anything. So that would have been a very, very short show.
When you can't taste the scotch, that it's going to be a problem.
Well, we want to do TX is probably going to be our next one, and I really wanted to make sure that I could taste for that one. Anyway.
Yeah, you do.
All right, so we're going to go walk around for a bit. We're going to get some people signed up to come over and talk about their distillery. So we will be back.
Word.
All right, we're back, and like I promised, we're going to have some interviews today. This isn't a distillery or anything like that, but it is distillery whiskey related.
That's right.
I've been wanting to find someone to have on that supports this effort, the veterans' effort, or anything like that. And just so happened that someone's come up to the tent wearing an awesome-looking shirt, and why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about what you're a part of.
So my name's Jason Lefebvre. I'm the Pittsburgh ambassador for Warriors and Whiskey, and what Warriors and Whiskey is it's a large LLC, if you would, also a nonprofit. It's kind of a hybrid that really aims to support have an effect on the local veteran in each community. What's really neat about it, and kind of struck me, is that you have Wounded Warriors Project. I was part of Wounded Warriors. So I will always give my thanks to what they've done for veterans, especially myself. But we've always asked the question, I think nationally, locally, how do we affect the local vet, the guy that is not being captured by the national organizations. One of the things that really drew me to Warriors and Whiskey was celebrating freedom one sip at a time, and I chuckled at that. But I also understood that, hey, here is a whole community between the two Facebook clubs that really focus on whiskey, which is Veterans Whiskey Club, and then Warriors and Whiskey, which you can find on Facebook, is a community of people that speak my language. And if you're a businessman and you break it down, you're looking at a veteran community of what, in the United States, somewhere between 45 million veterans at any one given time, 3 million active duty, roughly. You could probably toss another 1.5 million of reserves. So you have business-wise, you've got a lot of people out there that inherently want to support veterans. And So one of the things about today, we come out here and we see probably the 9 or 10 tents I've stopped at are veteran owned, or there's a guy wearing a Marine hat, or an Air Force hat, or son or daughter serves, and that sense of community ties right into whiskey, to the spirit, I think. So it's a real privilege to be able to not just to represent something, but represent something you truly believe in, a mission, which I think you find true for a lot of veterans.
Absolutely.
And like I said, neither of us have served, but both my grandfathers served.
I'm the same way.
I'm always supportive of anything veteran related.
My
even though I haven't served, like I still want to support because it's still should be supported.
I mean, our families are built on that to a degree. I mean, my pop was Army Air Corps. Back at the end of World War II.
There you go.
And my other grandfather fought on Iwo Jima. And I mean, I remember listening to their stories. And
my uncle was part of I forget what specific concentration camp, but my uncle was part of one of the groups that liberated one of them.
That was
crazy. Like one of the only stories he would tell, because everything he saw was just like, no, thank you. You know what I mean? But I forget what specific one. Yeah. But he was one of the groups that
that's
liberated
amazing.
One of them. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing but respect for that community and also what they go through. I mean, I know people in their day-to-day lives, especially the last couple of years, have been going through their own levels of anxiety, depression, things like that. But I know that our veterans probably go through it that much more because they're dealing with everything the world has to throw at you, and then they're dealing with the even uglier sides of that.
Yeah,
we've been challenged a lot. I will freely admit it. I retired in 2016, and bounced around the civilian world for a minute, and they throw money at you and you go, yay, and then you realize you're missing something. What are you missing? Well, you're missing that camaraderie. You're missing that mission, purpose, life, right? And I ended up either out of just foolishness or sense of service, whichever you went back with the Air Force as a civilian, which is great. Perfect. It gives me that community. And what we've found is that community within the whiskey world is not that much different. You get together with a couple of your buddies and you throw a dram or two back, and what do you start doing? You connect.
Yep.
And so within the veterans community, what we have seen is that has almost been at times life-saving. I can think in the last 2 weeks I've had a couple guys maybe even publicly come out and say, I almost ended it, but this group saved me.
Wow.
So if there's any question on the value of it, put everything else aside. If we save a life, then we've won.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't put a price on that.
You can't put a price on it. And that doesn't go for just the vets. It goes for anybody. And what we have found is that with the non-pure veterans group, as my wife brings me more liquor, what we found is that we are tapping into not just vets, but to people, first responders, just patriots, that love the notion of service. They love whiskey. God bless them. Thank you. and they want to get involved. And they're not just getting involved when they do this with a vet somewhere. It's a vet here. So they're having a community effect. And I know you guys have been around. You're in local groups too that I'm a part of. Yeah. That that sense of community grows. It's contagious.
Very much so.
Yeah. It really is, especially when the mission.
I mean,
is
whiskey.
So,
as you said, whiskey definitely has that sort of camaraderie as well. I mean, the splinter groups that have come off of just Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends in general are I'm seeing posts of like, this get together. Yep. They're doing like neighborhood get-togethers, like north, south, east. Like it's insane what has come out of just one small group at one point.
I mean, the difference between life and death sometimes is just conversation.
Yep.
Well, yeah, 100%.
Yep. I mean, it's just it's literally just being that. Yep. Because I think the number one thing. Obviously, I'm not a vet, but I deal with just regular depression on a daily basis, and I just know that sometimes just the act of somebody being there, reminding you, cutting through the noise that's your own head,
right,
reminding you you're not alone in this. You matter. You are cared for. Yeah, I mean you can't put a price on that.
Yeah, I'll share something very very personal about that. Wow, that's interesting. We recently had our founder. We have three founders for Warriors and Whiskey. Great guys, all Navy. We won't hold that against them. I'm an Air Force guy. It's okay. So if they ever hear this, they're gonna let me have it. He came up about a week and a half ago, and we decided to meet down in downtown Pittsburgh at Bridges and Bourbon. You guys know it.
Yeah,
I do. Haven't been there yet, but I want to. It's on my list.
It's on our
definitely
list.
a place to go. So I am up front. I'm saddled with PTSD. I think there's not a guy that's gone over or spent his life in the military, gone over and been in the places that we've been that doesn't walk away with a scar.
Right.
One of the things that I've had to battle against, a very personal thing, is getting out of my house, getting out of my safe place.
Yeah. Sure.
Going to Pittsburgh for some, very easy. 20 years, 25, 30 years ago, I was everywhere. You know, there was a party, I'm going. Now, I'm not there yet. You know, I have to work hard at it. Going and being able to know that I'm going down there to meet a fellow vet, bringing my best friend, who is also in the group and is also a vet, and I was stationed with for many years, allows me to kind of have a little bit of comfort. And you know, the story of bourbon is much more, whiskey is much more than just the drink, but it's the people.
Absolutely.
And
Amen.
It's bringing people together. It's breaking through. It's saving a life. It's having some laughs. It's making new friends. It's forming a community.
I mean,
and it's spreading the word.
The motto of the group, they couldn't have come up with a better motto. Whiskey is better with friends. I don't think you could honestly come up with a better motto. That is such a great motto, and it's really resonated throughout the group in different ways. You know, as like you're saying, you know, it's helping you break that barrier of getting out of your comfort zone. You know,
I also really quick. I don't know how much this is going to mean coming from a civilian, but can I shake your hand? And
most certainly.
And
Thank
can
you.
I say,
I appreciate that.
Congratulate. I just wanted to say, it's so admirable. First of all, thank you for sharing the story with us of how you're feeling. But second of all, you're here right now. You're out of your comfort zone. You're in a group environmental setting.
Well, I walked into a safe place full of whiskey. So
that's fair. That's fair. But the fact that you
got comfortable really quick.
The fact that you left home, you came here to a group setting. I just want to commend you for that. And I just want to say congratulations and thank you for sharing that part of your journey with us and for allowing us to be part of that.
And then throwing you in front of a mic and say, talk about yourself.
No,
thank you for sharing. I mean,
that's
not everybody.
An easy thing to do. And I just want to say, I really appreciate that. And I hope that anyone who listens to this feels comforted and kind of empowered to tell their own story too.
Definitely. No, look, I appreciate you guys, you know, just being open to talking. Certainly did not expect to sit down and do a podcast. I think it's great. I think it's great you guys put yourself out there in a way that you're willing to just sit and talk and get the word out. I mean, one of the things that's really unique about Pittsburgh, I'm a Florida boy. Grew up in Florida. Go Gators, by the way. That's only a pitch, right? You think I'd make it for my club. But, it's really neat to see Pittsburgh transform. When I got here 6 years ago, my wife is from here, so it's a beer town.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And nothing wrong with that. Perfect. I like beer. Nothing wrong. I didn't get this beautiful body just drinking seltzer, right? But now we're starting to see that shift, and we're starting to see whiskey kind of come in. And what's really cool, and I talked to a couple guys down in Bardstown that I'm friends with, is we're starting to see the rebellion trail, the whiskey rebellion, that surge of history come back to where it's from.
Yes.
And I think that it's a really neat thing that we need locally to embrace. And
absolutely.
We need to encourage. I love Liberty Pole. I love what they do. I love the family. I love the entire thing.
Yep.
And coming to this and seeing that many more local distilleries and local people and vets, you really get a sense that, hey, we have a chance to really support something that could mean a lot to southwestern Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
Or the tri-state area altogether. I mean, there are people that go, hey, when you come down to Florida, will you bring me a case of Liberty Pole or something like that?
And so it's a Christmas gift in my family. It's a Christmas gift in my family.
And one of the things that's cool about Warriors of Whiskey is that we get to kind of swap this, or I should say, hold it over each other's heads to a degree. Like, hey, I want a bottle of 10th Mountain. What do you want? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well,
gotcha.
we can do this. It's fun. It's a way to export each other's brands, but do it within a community of trust, which is really what I think whiskey is about.
So how can anyone listening or reading our post, how can they support or check out Warriors and Whiskey?
So the easiest way is, I guess, go onto Facebook and put in Warriors and Whiskey, and you're gonna see a club. The Warriors and Whiskey is specifically built for just patriots, first responders. Our dedicated law enforcement, paramedics, and the people that go out there every day. But it's also for the average guy that just says, you know what, I love this country, I love whiskey, I want to be a part, I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to swap stories. join up. We encourage our veterans to go to Veterans Whiskey Club, which is on there. That's a much older one. And I say answer the questions on there because we want to make sure we keep
we're the same way.
The spammers out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, right? So
you want to keep it a safe space.
Right, yeah, and we've got to be careful. We don't know how Facebook is. We want to make sure we keep it clean.
Right.
So,
Or the Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends struggles with the same thing on the day.
Exactly. So
everyone's got it's like butts. Everyone's got one, and they all want to.
Yeah. We're all up against the same thing when it comes to it, and we like to say, look, we don't. One of the nice things is we don't compete with other Facebook groups. We're kind of, it's nice. We're off on our own, and we love to support whoever we can support. That's the real beauty of it. We also have a website, warriorsandwhiskey.com. They have an outstanding merchandise store. These guys.
I mean, I'm digging on that shirt, dude.
Yeah, I do love that shirt.
Yeah, go look it up, like I said. And most importantly, the more that we can spread the word, I feel like the more we can bring in Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends into the fold. Mm-hmm. I love that group. I cannot wait for the latest barrel pick to come. Get ready for pickup. The Elijah Craig Mystery Barrel Pick.
Oh yes. Yeah. Well, they had, and they
Friends in No Places.
Friends in No Places. I got a bottle of that one.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right on,
dude. Are you kidding me? A single barrel pick from the group of Knob Creek every day.
Yeah,
please.
All day, every day.
Yeah. And I was never a Knob Creek guy until about 2 years ago, and it's funny how your taste changed with whiskey, right? And now I'm a Knob Creek freak.
Yeah, the crew that went down.
That's a shirt right there, Knob Creek freak.
Knob Creek freak. Although you got to be careful when you say it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, to each your own. It takes a world.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, just look it up on Facebook. We of course do similar to what Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends does, except on I think more of a national scale.
Gotcha.
The barrel picks are usually through distilleries a little bit more established.
Yeah.
As far as, and I should say established, but they're able to distribute a little bit differently.
Gotcha.
I actually like the way Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends does it. I don't think we could do that though because we're a national group.
Right.
But what we are doing is in each city that we have enough of a populace, we have an ambassador who probably has 3 or 4 guys that are his buddies, and he's screaming for help. Let's do events. Let's do meetups. Let's do collaborations. We just collaborated with Bacon, Bourbon, and Beer, and at the last second, Washington PA Food Group, who's run by Nate Mass, you guys may know, he was like, he threw a big pitch on his page. He's like, come on out. Let's support this.
Yeah.
And, unbeknownst to a lot of people, what Bacon, Bourbon, and Beer were doing was they were supporting the local VFW and helping them with 2 service dogs.
Gotcha.
So it was a real opportunity for us to flex forward and lean into, let's not make this about a group. Let's not make it even about bourbon. Let's make it about a community coming together, having great drinks, great food, great company, and getting a little bit of momentum behind what we can do to affect the local community. Yeah. So, I'm a firm believer that the more we collaborate, the greater the things we can do
Absolutely.
For the community. It doesn't have to be just veteran. It could be, we need a new road.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know if they're going to advertise a bourbon on a road, but one could dream, right? So
the whole highway.
Right?
Adopt the highway.
Although this is PA, so you never know.
You never know.
So
hey man, I think cheerleaders adopts part of 279. So
I feel like ours would be a better cause.
I do agree.
Somehow, I feel like ours is more family friendly.
Probably, definitely.
100%.
But okay, real quick, I want to throw something out to both of you guys. I haven't talked to John about this, so I might get in trouble. But
should be something we shut the mics off and
no.
Okay.
Feet to the fire. I think it'd be really cool if we had an event with Warriors and Whiskey.
Oh, absolutely.
And we gave the guys there an opportunity to come on and tell their story.
Ooh,
and
I like that.
And just share a dram, hear their story. You and I just shut up and provide the recording equipment.
I won't say a damn word.
And
I'll just sit back. I won't even give myself a mic. I'll just sit back and listen.
Act as a platform to allow vets, first responders, to share their stories, share their experiences, and maybe in doing so encourage others who may be struggling and not have found their own voice yet to look for it.
And enjoy some good whiskey.
And enjoy some good whiskey in the process. But also just give a platform to our vets and first responders to maybe feel heard in a new way. What do you guys think?
I'm all in. I would actually. I think I could coax the guys to fly all the way from Jacksonville and Atlanta.
Nice.
I mean, it's not like they need much of an excuse. If you say whiskey loud enough, they're boarding the plane.
Yeah, I got you.
And and one of the things is I love to communicate the message on behalf of this organization. But there's something very intimate about hearing from the guys that got together. I don't know whether it was on a ship or wherever the Navy does. Who knows? I'm an Air Force guy. But they said, "Hey, we want to do this, and here's why." And they're really committed. Some of the most genuine dudes that I've bumped into in my retirement years so far. So I would love to do that. Besides drink.
Whiskey.
The obvious.
You've already got a good thing going with the whiskey present. Can't be a bad time.
No.
Not when there's whiskey.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't lose. I mean, it may be a total disaster on the microphone, but at the end of the day,
the way I see it is, the more we have, the better it gets on the microphone.
Absolutely,
that is
all right. So let's bring it back to the event. So what have you? What's been your favorite thing you've tried so far today?
So I never ever do this without saying this disclaimer. I love Liberty Pole, so I had to steer clear from Jim and his family because otherwise
you're talking to fellow lovers.
Yeah,
you're fine.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can go. I don't think we've ever had an episode where we don't mention them at some point.
Listen, for those who have not had Liberty Pole, great people, great family, great experience, and I really think they're doing it the right way. And more importantly, they're so humble and they're so kind.
Oh my gosh!
And I said, Jim, what do I try? I got to drive, so that sucks, right? What do I try?
Preach.
So he shot me off and said, give these guys a try. And, in this world where we're so competitive, to have somebody that his competition is literally to sit next to him, say, you got to give these guys a shot. They are great. That speaks to the community of whiskey, right?
Absolutely.
So I went over, and I got to tell you, I tried Quantum. I was super impressed.
Okay, we haven't had them yet tonight.
That was going to be our next tent. I think we were going to hit.
Definitely delicious. I'm my wife and the friends we came with, they're hitting everything, right? They don't care. They're not driving. Of course. They're having at it. So, we're going to be broke after this event.
Yeah, so are we.
Preach.
Preach. But I'm going to hit Altered State here in a moment.
Yes. Okay, their port finished bourbon.
No, stout.
Is
Stout
finished bourbon. Stout finished bourbon is
real good.
Fabulous.
Well, then that's, matter of fact, I'm scanning for my wife. Oh, they're right there.
Yeah,
so,
she's right there. She's been staring us down.
Because after this it's lunch, right? So time to get lunch.
If I could also real quick encourage you, Lucky Sign, Rock and Rye.
Yes, had Lucky Sign, enjoyed it, got a bottle there. Where else did I get one? Got one from Rebellion, or the. I can't even see the name of it. And I want to try 4 for $6. That was the other one.
They're good too.
They're good too.
Yeah, they've got like a Canadian blend. It's
okay.
a good Canadian blend too. It's sweet. It's smooth.
Yeah, because their stuff is still aging. So right now he has a source Canadian blend. Yeah.
So real interesting, and I dropped a card off with them and encouraged them to get involved. And I firm believer, let's help each other out.
Absolutely.
Especially
1,000%.
a lot of these guys need rick houses and they need space to grow, and they're going from being, hey, this is cool and we're doing it in a dank, dark basement to maybe we need to build a center, right?
It's that old adage, right? A rising tide floats all boats.
Yep.
You're right. 100%.
There doesn't have to be I need to cut your throat so I can live.
Right.
We can all live and thrive and flourish together as a community.
The community between distilleries it still baffles me because you're right. In when most places are competing against each other, they're all supporting each other.
Well, it's awesome. Like that in Bardstown. If you go down there, believe it or not, it's like that amongst the heavyweights.
Yeah,
which I think is really interesting.
That's awesome.
Well, they did that. I mean, that was adamant when I believe it was I forget when, but Heaven Hill had their fire, and other distilleries came out and gave them stuff to sell so that they could stay afloat and not die out because of the fire. Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, and the other thing too is it's like, that also I think speaks volumes to the confidence they have in their product as artisans.
Yeah.
They know that sending you over to Distillery B is not going to keep you from buying Distillery A. It just means that now you have less money because you're buying from A and B.
Yeah.
I would imagine that the majority of the listeners and the majority of people in Pittsburgh Whiskey Friends and you guys have at least 20 bottles on the shelf, right? At least. Yeah.
I would go back home for a cocktail before I'd go to a bar at this point.
Yeah.
My house is a bar.
I find myself when I go to most places, I go, I've had all this. So then I become an economist really quick, right?
Yeah.
What's the cheapest? All right, I'll take that. Not always, but sometimes that's the way it rolls. So they know that we're not going to buy just one bottle.
Yep.
That we're going to probably have 2 or 3 or 4 bottles, going at least at the same time. So everything in their fiber is let's all succeed.
Yeah.
Which isn't that what's really cool about bourbon and whiskey and rye? Is this the American? It's the story of America.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think. That's what connects it. You know, connects it all together.
Absolutely. Whiskey is better with friends can apply to nationwide.
100%. 100%.
Well, Jason, right? I don't know why I wrote it down. I always second guess. I'm so bad with names.
Hey,
Jason, thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking about Warriors and whiskey. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
And we're super looking forward to working with you guys and collaborating.
That would be great. I was dead serious about that. We would love to talk to first responders, vets, and just give them a platform to tell their story.
100%. Like I said, you guys log in there, get involved. You know, we'd love to have you on our side as well.
Yeah.
And I love what you guys do, so I think it'd be
Cheers,
really
buddy.
cool.
I appreciate that.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, and we're back with another interview. We have Taylor from Wigle. What's your official title now?
So my official title is Master Blender and Senior Distiller at Wigle Whiskey.
Hell yeah.
I wish I had that on my business card.
So if you were following along, and I'm gonna save, you know how you can save stories on Instagram to like a little like folder kind of thing. I'm gonna save it as the event. But if you've been watching that story either live or catching up, you saw that Taylor invited us into the barrel house, took some video in there, and pulled a sample of something out of the barrel for us. And this is what we're trying. So Taylor, go ahead again. I know you told us already, but officially tell us on the show.
All right.
What are we drinking?
So we're drinking our sherry cask rye. This is a 4-year-old rye whiskey aged in Pedro Jimenez sherry butts, which is a 64-gallon barrel. It is continued to age for another 1.5 years in those barrels. So we're tasting it at cask strength, which is going to be about 96 to 95 proof. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get all those caramel, raisiny notes coming through. You can't see on the podcast.
It's got a great color.
Yeah,
I always want to say.
Well, I took a video of you put it in that thing, and
it's
I know
a gorgeous color.
It is. It's a very nice color.
It's a beautiful amber.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So we started sampling in the barrel house. I said, "Pause. Let's go over and sit at the table."
Yes.
So
My God.
I don't know enough about sherry to like. Oh, yeah, it's definitely sherry. You know what I mean? But what I do know is, Wigle has a very distinct tasting note to it. I can tell when I'm drinking a Wigle. Mm-hmm. And I like this because there is that different note that's coming out of the sherry cask, but you also can still taste it. It's yours.
Yeah.
Your signature note is still in there.
The Wigle and the sherry notes complement each other and marry so well.
Thank you. Yeah. So, with Wigle, we used to start this idea of having a deep cut series, and we did that with the rye, and then we realized, well, let's just do that with everything and then make the deep cut barrels even more special. So for this is the same idea. We're running these tails really far. We're really pulling out all the different flavors, getting all of those oils in there, really aging it, and just it marries so well with the sherry.
That's
and this
fabulous.
Is all of it raisiny, thick, viscous.
Yes.
Sherry.
I was going to say, I'm getting that kind of raisiny sweetness with this. And there is, you look at the legs on this thing, and they're just gorgeous. These legs could dance with the Rockettes.
Sorry, I was checking the weather report because it's getting a little cloudy, so I want to make sure we didn't have to duck over to the tent real quick. But
it's just I'm getting maybe it's just me because sometimes I swear my palate's broken. I'm getting a little brown sugar on there. Mm-hmm. It is just I could see this would make a bomb.com Christmas cocktail. Or just as is.
What is the scheduled plan to release this?
We still have it on the shelves right now.
Oh, okay.
This is on shelves now. I am working on the next batch to come out, which probably will be a holiday release.
Okay.
But I really kind of want to talk more about Father's Day, the next.
Yes, let's discuss.
Let's hear it.
So
we kind of got you and Elise kind of gave us a hint of what's coming up. So go ahead and tell us what's coming up for your Father's Day
So
collection.
Father's Day, I believe before Father's Day, we're going to have our deep cut rye coming back out. It's going to be deep cut rye batch number 63.
Heck yeah.
All these barrels,
Excellent.
again, like I said, we run everything into the tails. These are hand selected by me. They're barrels I particularly love and want single barrel expression on. That's coming out. I have fought tooth and nail, and we are now doing our deep cut bourbon, which has been asked about constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can finally get our hands on
Yeah, because I know you released one around Christmas,
Yes.
around the holidays.
We released 2 last holiday. This is going to be deep cut number 3 for bourbon. This year, it's only going to be 2 barrels. So if you don't get this one, you're going to have to look for it again in November.
I'm going to go ahead.
Gotcha.
Those dramyinzers@gmail.com. If you wouldn't mind just shooting us a little note maybe the day before you guys go live, we'll just swing by.
We'll see what we can do. So we got those 2 coming out, and then for Father's Day exclusively, we have our barrel finish kit coming out, which is going to be our American Rye Kilted Cask, which is our malted rye whiskey aged in Lafroig quarter casks.
Yep.
Delightful if you like that smoky.
Huge favorite.
Personal favorite. One of the first gifts you got me for doing the show with you was a Kilted Rye.
Yeah.
So good.
So we have that.
It is by far a favorite of when everyone talks about Wigle or whatnot. It's consistent. I love their Kilted Rye. Like, huge favorite of the group.
I would say though we could add this port to that.
This is good.
This port finish. This is done.
Sherry.
Sherry.
Get your shit right.
Get my sherry right.
Well, that's the next one that's coming out too. Is we got some port rye.
You got a port?
We got a port finish rye, which is going to be a blend of tawny and ruby port. So, for those that don't know, like the ruby port's a younger, brighter, more grape forward, mixed with the tawny that's going to be older, more again raisiny, just a heavier, drier port.
So what I'm hearing is we have a future episode already locked down.
Yeah, basically
to discuss.
This is going to be. It's a beautiful kit box too. I mean.
So, all that's in the Father's Day
That's
kit.
going to be in the Father's Day kit. Those are the 2. The last one, which is by far, I thought, going to be the weirdest and delicious. I love it more than, I don't want to say I love it more than the Sherry Rye, but it's one of my top 10, is our Rum Cask Rye. So again, another 4-year rye aged in Jamaican rum barrels. So we're not allowed to know where those barrels came from. It's just how the heads are always painted over when we get them. We know they came from Jamaica, but you get that bitey Jamaican rum flavor, and then you get that spice at the end. It's on an ice cube. It's delicious.
Oh my God.
Sounds good.
When does that come out?
That's coming out with the Father's Day gift.
That's right. See, if I was paying attention and not so wrapped up in this sherry finish, I would have heard that the first time.
Right.
But for our listeners, it's in the Father's Day, and now I know what I'm asking for Father's Day.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh man, I got back to the whiskey that we are drinking. I got to tell you, man, this is absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
I mean, snaps to you. Knocked it out of the park with this. And you were saying when we were in the barrel house, this is one people kind of sleep on a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is a real shit. If I could do one thing out of this interview, it would encourage people, get off your ass.
And go buy this.
And go buy the sherry finish rye. Because this is bomb. This is delightful.
And this is just one. Right? You said you probably mix 2 of these barrels?
2 of the barrels, maybe 3 will go into a blend.
Depending on how it works out. Yeah.
It's sweet.
So this is just a part of it.
It's sweet. It's spicy. It's fruity. It's got the classic Wigle. It's got the classic Wigle flavor, but it marries so beautifully with everything else. That's just fantastic. I love that.
That's good. Thank you for sharing.
Anytime. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for letting us watch you take it out of the barrel.
Yeah.
It was like an ASMR experience right there. A little bit.
Religious experience.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys need to I know Wigle is not hurting for cash, but if you guys ever need to get some streaming numbers up, you could do an ASMR barrel pull, filling in glass, and I'm sure people would watch. I know you'd have at least 2 people watching that.
If you want to finish what's in your glass, we got something to share with you.
Sure.
It's not sherry finished.
I mean, no. I don't think there's a sherry.
I don't think it's a sherry.
So our listeners are going to be sick of hearing us talk about this, but so we do an infinity bottle for the show.
Ooh.
No holds bar. Everything's in here.
There's zero science
bourbon,
with this.
No science. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I could guess.
This is like if you said a 4-year-old loose in the kitchen and said make something.
So
I have done that.
What's in this barrel or this bottle right now is anything from the first 3 years we've done the show. So anything up to this previous October 2021. Everything. Scotch, Irish, anything we've tried
single
on the
malt,
show,
blended. There's Wigle in there.
Everything that we've tried on the show that there's been some left over is in here. So since you shared, we're going to share.
Oh, much appreciated. We've actually tried to do this once.
Yeah?
And we had mistakenly...
Can we rinse this out or anything?
No, I'm good. when we tried it, we went no holds barred as well, and coffee and pickle both ended up in there, which does not work.
Not really, no.
That is,
okay, I can't say there's no coffee or pickle in this.
Yeah. I felt a drop as well.
Yeah.
Spitting.
We might have to switch over here in a little bit. But anyway, cheers, sir. Thank you
Cheers.
again.
Thank you.
All right, and we're back. We had to make a shift in positions because it started raining, and we didn't have a tent yet. Now Zach can go buy one.
Yes.
So we're coming back with Bob from Disobedient Spirits. Welcome, Bob. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Of course. Bob, would you mind telling us what your official title is with Disobedient?
I'm half owner.
There we go.
There we go.
So tell us a little about Disobedient Spirits.
We got started 2012, just as it became legal. So we're
Nice.
one of the first dozen or so distilleries in Pennsylvania. Over the 10 years, we've had a chance to develop a number of different products.
That's awesome. Tell us about what kind of products you've been developing, and do you have any personal favorites, anything that you're really excited to share with everyone?
Well, of course, we're making whiskeys. We make a bourbon and a rye, which have been very well received. We also make a cherry-infused whiskey where we soak dried sour cherries after we remove the whiskey from the barrel. And my favorite is my Shagbark Hickory whiskey.
Which we had the pleasure of having earlier.
Yeah. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I have a long experience in winemaking and teaching about wine, and I came to realize that one of the reasons why oak is used is because it imparts so little flavor. And I decided that, well, hickory's something that is widely used in flavoring, and why don't I start making that? And of course, I know that some people make a syrup from hickory, and so I said, well, I'll make a whiskey from it, and it apparently turned out pretty good.
I would say so. I thoroughly enjoyed it when you had us take
it
a
was
sample
literally
earlier.
like I was standing next to like a Traeger smoker, you know, like waiting for like a brisket. You know,
well, as soon as you said barbecue, my mouth started watering. I was like, this would pair beautifully with something smoked.
Totally.
And it was dynamite.
Thank you.
So I when we were at the table, I noticed you didn't have just whiskey. So what other things have you been
we
producing?
have 8 different flavors of vodka. See if I can get through them. There's, of course, plain gin, which is just juniper flavored vodka.
Right.
Blueberry, orange, lemon, tea berry, honeysuckle, and peanut, and maple.
Ooh.
Hit them all.
The maple is made with maple syrup.
Yes.
And we make the honeysuckle by harvesting honeysuckle blossoms.
That's very cool.
So tell me about like how did Disobedience get? You said it started in 2012, right?
Right.
So what was the inspiration behind it? What's the inspiration behind the name and the logo? And
I was in business with 4 other people, and we decided, well, I approached them about starting a distillery because it was becoming legal. And we looked it over, and one other person that was part of that business agreed that they wanted to make whiskey too, and so we started the business. We're both ex-IUP faculty.
okay.
So we've known each other for over 35 years now. So we have a good relationship.
That's great.
My partner never starts anything until after the due day, and I usually start everything immediately, so it kind of works out.
There you go. So where did you guys get the name Disobedient Spirits from? What was the inspiration behind that?
Some of our friends, realizing that, for example, my partner never starts anything until after it's due, and then often doesn't do it anyhow. So we tend to not quite follow the rules very well. Good, and so we've hired staff to make sure we do.
That's the way to do it.
But some of our friends suggested we ought to be the distillery of civil disobedience, and that just, it needed to be more active. So we fiddled with it for a while and came up with Disobedient.
I love it. That's
and I love you got the Rebellion Eagle on the logo as well.
Yeah,
so.
that's kind of like the the logo for the Whiskey Rebellion
Yep.
that we've kind of incorporated into it.
Awesome. Channeling those disobedient spirits. That's awesome. I love it. That's
Very
great.
true. Very
That's
true.
great.
You got anything coming up? Anything you want to new stuff you want to promote?
We'll be opening up a bar store in Cambria City. That's in Johnstown within the next month or two.
Oh, that's great.
And of course, I'll be visiting a number of farmers markets around the region over the next over the summer. See, Ligonier, Latrobe, Murraysville, downtown Johnstown, and I must be forgetting something.
So, if anyone in the Pittsburgh area wants to get something from Disobedient, where can they get it anywhere or find like a farmer's market?
Our products are available at both locations of Pennsylvania Libations.
Perfect.
Also, Sarnelli's Grocery down by Seven Springs.
Okay.
And the Johnstown store.
Gotcha.
Of course, we have a full bar, game room. We have professional pool tables, the 9-footers, no coin slots.
Nice. Love that.
And while we're there, we work behind glass, so you can sit in the bar and drink and watch us work.
That's awesome. That's great. Oh, man. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I kind of want to go check that out. I want to go check that out.
Oh, we definitely need to go down
some
there
whiskey,
and hang
some
out.
pool.
Yeah.
Creep on people while they work a little bit. I'm
Definitely.
down with all that.
I always love an open kitchen concept.
I do too. I think it's fascinating to watch basically artists at work.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's so cool.
Definitely. Any other questions?
No, I mean, I'm excited to try more of the Disobedient Spirits, and I also really
and
can't.
it's good that you're at Pennsylvania Libation. So again, anyone around in the local who may not be able to get out to you guys can just head to go see them at PA Libations.
2 miles that way.
Yep,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Head over there and check out some stuff from Disobedient Spirit. We what was the one we tried again? I'm sorry, I'm blanking.
Shag Bar Hickory.
The Shag Bar Hickory. Definitely try that one.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Definitely get yourself out and try some of that Shag Bar Hickory.
Awesome. Well, Bob, thanks for sitting down with us. Thanks for talking with us.
Thanks for
Talking
having
about
me.
Disobedient.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. We look forward to talking to you some more.
All right, well, come disobey.
All right, and we're back again. We're just rolling with these interviews, baby, one after one. Let's just keep
what
going.
I'm talking about. Well, it's been a minute since we
although it's
recorded.
always
I mean,
fun.
I had a head cold. You had COVID.
Yeah, I know.
We
Let's
were
go.
supposed to
Let's
record
go.
like 3 times by now.
Yeah.
The line's been out the door. I've been sending smoke signals to try to get in queue here.
Yeah. So we Jeremy from you guys have heard him before on the show, whether in the background or as a guest with PA Libations.
Words, John. It's our gig.
I know. I've had
Words
enough
is what
today.
we do.
Well, no, I'm excited because I want to try this because Jeremy brought gifts, and I'm excited. So, Jeremy, now you're working with Big Springs,
Big Spirits.
right? And you said just a little over a year.
Yeah, so it's been a year to the month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice, dude.
So, welcome. Thanks
Happy
for coming on
anniversary.
again.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I think he might be the most repeat guest we've had.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Sweet. I like that. I'm honored.
All right. So let's talk. We've talked PA Libations out the wazoo with you. Let's talk Big Spring. Talk to us about it.
Sure. Big Spring is 7 years in the making, going into 8. Based in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of State College.
Okay.
And we're known for the water. Big Springs that runs through Talleyrand Park in Bellefonte is why we chose the location for our distillery. It's the #1 tasting water source in Pennsylvania. It's a mineral-rich water, similar concept to Bourbon Trail in Kentucky, right? Mm-hmm. So if you start with a good water source and 60% of your product at the end is water, having a high-quality water, we feel like separates us from the rest of the distilleries in this state. Mm-hmm. And we really like the product. And so, yeah, that's kind of our thing. We're a LEED certified gold level distillery. We're the first in PA, second in the nation, and third in the world to do that. There have been some added in the nation since then. I'm not exactly sure what the count is.
Yeah.
But that's leaders in energy and environmental design. So the buildings are all energy efficient.
That's awesome.
We source all of the grain for our whiskeys from within 25 miles of our distillery. Spent grain goes back to Farmer Tom. Shout out to Farmer Tom, who mills and gets our grain for us, and then we give the grain back to their cattle. So those are kind of like the bullet points for us.
Yeah.
Dude, I love everything about that.
Now
That's
we've had some Big Spring before because Christian does sell it at Pennsylvania Libations.
Used to.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Never mind. I stand corrected. So we've had it on the show at some point with talking with him before.
Yes.
But talk about what the gift you brought us. What do we got here?
So this is the at least in my year directly with Big Spring, this is the first I've had of a cash strength single barrel rye. So one of the unique things that we do with our distillery is more of a Canadian method of blending. So our American whiskey, the reason we don't have bourbon on the label is because that we take the corn, the rye, and the wheat, and we age everything separately. So 100% grain in barrel.
Right. Weren't you guys the one that sold that box? You could do like your own.
Yes. You can buy the little like 187s of each.
Okay.
Or 375s. Yeah, and we do the gift sets during Christmas for anybody listening that wants those. So this is 100% rye whiskey, 6 years. All of our age statements now are minimum 6 year.
That's awesome.
That's on our corn, rye, wheat, and American whiskeys.
That's a huge milestone to hit for craft because craft, it's not like with craft beer they can just like pop stuff out, right?
Yep.
Like there's aging process. So to be able to say that you're at minimum 6 years now is huge.
Dedication.
Thank you. Yeah, Kevin Lloyd, the owner, who's just an amazing human being and person to work for and work with, has always been very diligent about dumping as much whiskey into 53-gallon, char 3, char 4, depending on which grain it is, since day one, really. So that's why you're getting 6 years now, is because we've waited. And honestly, I come from the restaurant industry. I remember buying Big Spring when it was 2 years and 3 years and 4 years, and then I went into PA Libations and sold it, and going into 5 years, and now that it's 6 years, I really feel like this is hitting the mark. And this was just a really great barrel. Distiller Phil, who's also a Penn State grad, wife teaches at Penn State. They tasted this barrel one day and just said, "Hey, we're going to dump it," and we think it's a really great barrel.
It's got an interesting nose. It's not a typical rye whiskey nose.
There's a lot of caramel in our rye. I always say that our rye is very. It's a great transition rye if you want to think of it that way. I call it a bourbon drinker's rye because I think that people that love bourbon that don't like rye because it's too spicy, I think ours is a very good gateway.
I'm getting some brown sugar, a little bit. Maybe my nose is broken. I get a little banana.
I get banana and my nose is broken.
I'm sorry. I'm going to call you out for a second. This is not 130 proof.
Yeah, 130.9.
No.
It really
brother, that's good.
Yeah, nectar.
Oh, this could get me fucked up real quick.
Yeah, it will.
Sorry for the language.
Yeah, you got like an eighth of an ounce basically, but it's enough to kind of sip on and get that second, third.
I mean, I've had some 130 proof. I'm like, yep.
Y'all are selling this tonight, right?
What's that?
Y'all are selling this tonight, right?
Yes, we are.
Hot damn.
Yeah. And it is $65 for a 6-year single barrel cash strength, 100% rye whiskey from Pennsylvania.
That's not bad.
So I would pay that for this.
Yeah. Thank you. We really enjoy it. We think it's one of the best products that we make, if not the best product. The Talleyrand Cream Bourbon is obviously another one that we do really well with, but we make 100% wheat whiskey too. It's great.
Yeah. No, this is.
I even get the banana on the palate a little bit. Yeah. Because there's a lot of sorry, I'm talking away from the mic. There's a lot of whiskeys where you nose it, and then you taste it, and it's like two completely different beasts. No. This, what you get on the news. No, the news. God, I had a little bit of gin tonight.
The news.
The news.
The news. I've had a little gin tonight, and that shit goes straight to my head. So apologies.
Understood.
Bear with me.
Understood.
No,
you got to be careful with that.
You would have to be careful with that. No, this what you get on the nose is very true to the palate.
It doesn't smell 130.
No, it doesn't, and it doesn't taste 130.
No, it's 130, but it's allowing the rye. You're not tasting proof. You're tasting the rye.
You're tasting flavor.
And that's awesome.
It's full body flavor.
Thank you.
Without the burn.
I'm not just drinking heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to set my throat on fire to get a good full palate.
Yeah, mouth feels good, so it's just figured if we were going to chat, we might as well do it over.
Now, we were over at the booth earlier, and we had two very amazing. We had your peach whiskey.
Yep, that's our 100% wheat whiskey, and then we infuse the fresh peach in that. It is no sugar added. So if you're thinking Crown Peach, that is not
Peach, Jim Peach. No.
It's grown-up peach.
I mean,
Yes.
it's wheat
Thank
whiskey.
you for saying it that way. That's how we look at it.
It's wheat whiskey with a nice aftertaste of peach.
Yes, the peach is a note. It's
Perfect.
Not the drink.
I think Tia said peach old fashioned.
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because you go and you drink things like the Crown Peach. Oh shit! Oh my god! I can't believe I just did that. Nope, I'm good. I still got a little
Party foul.
Party foul. I might lick the table later because this is just too good to waste.
Just ring it out back into your
Seriously, no, right in my mouth, dude. No, it tastes like it's a true whiskey.
Yeah.
That has
We always
peach
say.
notes.
When we sell it, we say if you like Crown Peach, this is not that.
Yeah. Well, those are just infused with syrup and they're going for
Sugar
the flavor.
bombs.
They're going for what they need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a gummy peach
Which
in
is
a
fine.
glass,
I mean,
which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely. If that's your
People-
thing all day long, but if you're a craft
Absolutely.
whiskey drinker, that's not what you want. But
Right.
you could get into a peach whiskey if it's not sweet. and I
But like
think
even
that's
your
kinda
just
where we're
even with
coming
like an ice cube, yours.
in. Yeah,
You know.
Dude, I was
the
just
nose on it's awesome.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
And then we had non-whiskey related. What was the mojito? What was it?
oh
the
my god, the coconut
mango.
rum mango
so,
mojito.
So another thing that we're really known for at both of our locations, we have the distillery in Bellefonte and then the Seven Fields location up in near Cranberry, is our ready-to-drink fresh cocktail program. And the coconut mango mojito, we can't put mojito on the bottle because it's not a pure mojito recipe as far as the TTB is concerned. But that drink that you did have is our bestseller.
It was next level.
It's just
dude.
fruit.
Because
Fruit fresh.
again, fresh juices,
All fresh
not
juices,
syrups.
no preservatives. And when we use like mint in anything, we have 3 different mojitos in that lineup, and they all are mint infused simple syrups, and then we strain it so that you still get the fresh mint.
Yeah.
But all the syrups, all the ingredients are all natural. We use a lot of shrubs in our ready-to-drink cocktail lineups, and Tate Farm shrub is what we use for a lot of that stuff. So that's another local purveyor that's out there. So
All right, I've really got to ask because, I mean, oftentimes Pennsylvania craft liquor is on my Christmas gift list for family members because I have family out in New Jersey, New York, Florida, Texas. So I like to spread the love across the nation.
you're a good man.
That Monito. Y'all sell that in the winter still?
Year round.
Talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
My brother may not get it because I don't know if I trust UPS to get it to him in 30 days. I mean, the shampoo that I'm mailing.
Unmarked.
Well, he'll
boxes.
just have to get it when he comes back.
It's glass shampoo.
Yeah. Don't ask
This
any
is
questions.
artisan shampoo
They don't
and
need to know.
conditioner together in one.
They don't need to know.
Yeah.
So one other thing I wanted you to come on, and you guys have publicly talked about it and everything, is your new spot down in the Southside / Station Square area. You want to
Yeah.
talk about that?
Yeah, South Shore project. We just broke ground about a month ago. It's been a 7+ year project in the making. We've owned the
Wow.
building for that period of time and just have been waiting for the right group of people to kickstart it, get it going. We've got a wonderful group of investors around us right now that we're really excited about that all bring unique aspects to the table. And you can actually invest in the project currently still. If you go to bigspringspirits.com, you can find some information on that and be a part of this project. But broke ground about a month ago. It's a 5-story complex. Our full distillery with a pot still and fermenters and everything down there. The stripping runs will all happen in Bellefonte. And because we're known for our water source, all of the water with the stripped run is coming down to Pittsburgh, and that's where the finishing runs, blending and proofing down happens.
That's awesome.
So there'll be a lot of other things going on in that building. There'll be a rooftop bar and restaurant, banquet venue that overlooks the entire water and the city view unobstructed. We're right on the running trail there. We're 2 doors down from Sly Fox, our friends down there.
Yep.
They just opened this past weekend, so if you haven't been to Sly Fox yet, you should get there.
At the High Line.
Yep, it's a really cool spot. They'll have some music there, but we'll have a bunch of like food concepts in there, retail concepts. There'll be a fresh produce market on the bottom floor adjacent to where the production facility is
so
room
cool.
is going to be. So full tasting bar, cocktail bar, bottle shop, everything.
You guys are a true farm-to-table distillery.
Yeah, we like to think so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the whiskey's definitely is one of the things that I think that is the leader of why we feel that way about our distillery, and hopefully everybody likes them as much as we do.
Well, that rye was fan-friggin-tastic. So.
Thank you.
Okay, so if our listeners are from around here, you said Seven Fields.
Yep.
And where else could they? Are you guys in the state stores yet? Or?
Yeah. We just actually got another 50 state stores.
Nice.
Our Talleyrand Cream Bourbon is really doing well in the state store system, and just granted us an extra 50 stores. So at some point in the very near future, we'll have a nice clean list of those on our website.
Okay.
So you can find our products. If not, you can just go to Fine Wine and Good Spirits and type in the product that you want from us, and it'll tell you where you can find it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But we also have a project that should be happening here in the next month or two in Sewickley. So look out for a new location in
so
Sewickley.
excited about that. No,
Yeah.
seriously, living out by the airport, I'm always hearing about people on like the East End, and they're always like, "Oh yeah, we got all these great craft distillers, and we got all these great restaurants," and I'm like, "Cool." I'm Applebee's,
I'm on a different planet out here.
and I'm just kind of like, I'm in like shopping mall central.
Yep.
So I am so excited to know that you guys are going to be in Sewickley. I cannot begin
Cocktail
to tell
bar.
you
Yeah, bottle
that is
shop.
medicine to my spirit.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, and we're right on the main drag there.
Right on Beaver Street.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we have the only. It's also the building that we're in has the only like little terrace up top, so that'll be a nice little
nice.
spot that we can
That's
use
what I'm talking about.
on the weekends. So you can drink
All right,
your
so-
old fashioned and look over the.
So as we finish this out, finish what you got because we're going to share with you.
Oh, I would love that.
John, can I get a little
some
sip of
of
that?
this too?
Yeah, just
Just don't spill it.
this is gonna be our thing now, isn't it? I'm gonna
No.
see you a year.
I'm gonna
from
let it
now,
go.
and you're gonna be like, "You spill any drinks lately?" And I'm gonna be, so you spill any $65 of craft liquor lately? And
Oh wow, I'm excited about this. I have an Infinity bottle at home, and it already smells better than mine. Ooh, it's smoky.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Actually, so Zach and I at the Rebellion Fest
Yeah.
had the 0 to 2 year one.
it was even smokier.
And it was smokier.
Oh, it's so smoky.
We haven't
I
had
love
as
it.
many peat as past from year 2 to 3. So this was filled up. So I figured we love bringing this to live events, especially when people are sharing with us. We like to share right
yeah.
back. So
This is the one thing we can give back.
Oh man, it's gorgeous. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
Yeah,
sharing
yeah.
this with me.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Hey, thank you for the samples.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure.
all right, folks, that is a rainy wrap on this very successful first ever Western PA Spirits Festival.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. We didn't get to talk to everybody like I wish we could have. I mean, we had a really good conversations with the people that we did talk about, but we didn't get to everyone. So to next year, I guess.
To next year.
But make sure you check out all the ones we've had on the interview today. Make sure you check out the site for the episode because you can check out all the different distilleries that were here today in case we didn't get a chance to talk about them. But I just wanted to wrap up here and say, again, thank you to Wigle and Threadbare. They were awesome about accommodating us today, making sure that we had everything we needed to do. And when we had to move
100%.
spots to get underneath a tent because of the rain,
Consummate hosts.
They were really good, really helpful in helping us move everything over.
Not only that, they took us in the barrel house and let us do a barrel tap
Well, yeah, that's
today.
Taylor.
Oh, my
Yeah.
heavens.
But thank you to Wigle, thank you to Threadbare, thank you to Christian at Lucky Sign, and everyone else that was involved in getting this set up. I'm excited for next year.
Can't wait.
And to see how this transforms from year 1 to year 2.
So good. John, buddy, I think there's only one other thing for us to do.
Yeah? What's that?
John, cheers to you.
Zachary, sir. Cheers to you, sir.
My name is Jason Lefebvre with Warriors and Whiskey, and cheers to Jens.
So my name again is Taylor. I'm with Wigle Whiskey. I am the senior distiller and master blender. Cheers to Yins.
I'm Bob Sechrist, co-owner of Disobedient Spirits, and cheers to Yins.
This is Jeremy Noah from Big Spring Spirits, and cheers to these.
And cheers to you.